Mkubwa.
Do you have a submission?
So okay, Kenya unaweza ongeza 15, just 15. Alafu zikiletwa sijui ni nani analeta, alete. Niko hapa inside, nitaona, nitamwambia ni mwenye atambeana. Najengia leta tu dasani.
south and supply the next few years to this country. That is, Wajir South can create jobs for Kenyans. Everybody now in office is struggling how to create jobs. Let us come to Wajir South as a company and give jobs to our people. Thank you.
Yes, if you allow me, I'll give 1 minute to the call.
Is that better?
Yes. We can start.
So good morning. We are the leaders of Jubilee Party, and we decided to come this morning present our memoranda because we support the talks that are happening. But as you are aware, that our party is not represented. We are not complaining because we support the process. But Jubilee Party being the third largest party in Kenya, and having also the third largest party in the National Assembly at the Senate, we wish to present our issues because we also want to say that we are not part of either the Kenya Kwanza or the Azimio coalition. We have already written to the Speaker in that aspect to indicate that after the elections we have not had any formal agreement with any coalition. And the outfit, how it was done, was meant that every other party presents its memorandum of coalition. So our unique position is that we are an independent political party. We don't have a coalition, and so we want to present as Jubilee Party. So today we have just come to drop our documents. Hopefully that we are going to be given an opportunity and a slot to come and give our views on the issues. So we have several issues that we have come and we have our agenda. And part of it is first to say the issue of political parties. That the issue of political parties, when political parties go in an election, it should be respected the decision that political parties take after the election. Because you cannot continue staying in a coalition or in kind of a marriage that you are feeling you are being mistreated. And that's what happened to the Jubilee Party. You know what happened after the election. We lost our positions from the commission, the issue of the political party allocation of slots, even at the National Assembly. And so you know our matter. And we would like that issue of the political parties to be respected, and especially after the election, such that people can sit down and agree a way forward. Second issue that we, as the Jubilee Party, are going to present today as part of our memoranda is that we support the issue of gender in the National Assembly and also both the Senate and the counties. And we are saying we should not just focus on the National Assembly alone, the Senate, but also even in the allocation from the executive. And we are happy on what happened with this government. We are hoping that each and every area that the issue of gender will be looked at, but political parties should come up with a proper mechanism and with IEBC such that we will not be struggling like what we have done. We know there have been the High Court already ruled about the issue, but we have been struggling. We have a bill that is in Parliament supporting the issue of additional of women in Parliament, and we support. And so we have detailed information on this document on how we can be able to achieve that. On the issue of the cost of living, it's also something that we are very concerned about, and we know there are several interventions, though majority maybe have not been very successful. But our first proposal is that we need to look at all the social protection programs that we have. And because we have a lot of repetition in some of them, we propose that we should be able to consolidate all the social programs to one, such that if you're talking about health, if somebody is an indigent and they need a health insurance card, they need to be supported by the government, so that we don't have somebody getting maybe 2 or 3 benefits from different social protection programs. And we propose that if you are able to have consolidated and one program that can focus on the families of the indigents and the people who are not able from health and be supported in all aspects, in food and everything else, then we can be able to move on. But again, as I say, they are well detailed plan on how we can be able to do the social protection. We are very concerned on what happens after the elections. And for us, yes, we support the issue of demonstration, but peaceful demonstration. And we are saying, if somebody calls for peaceful demonstration, we are proposing that if any destruction of property happens, then those people should be held liable. And so that if you're calling your people to come out for peaceful demonstration, you should also address them and tell them we should not destroy any property. We have seen destruction of properties, we have seen people closing businesses, people are actually going back because of these demonstrations. And so we are saying, as we support the demonstrations, the people calling for peaceful demonstration, if any destruction happens, they should be held liable. And I think that is one of the things that we are proposing. The issue of the office of the leader of the opposition is part of the issue that we are also talking about. And you know, Jubilee initially, we had talked about the issue of winner takes it all should not happen. And our proposal is now broader. If you're going to have the office of the leader of opposition, we are proposing that that person will be the leader of opposition in the National Assembly, the person will be number 2 in the election, and the deputy to be the leader of opposition at the Senate, so that then any party will not feel like they have been left aside. So if you are creating the office of leader of opposition in the parliament, so the number 2 becomes the leader of opposition at the National Assembly, and the deputy becomes the leader of opposition at the Senate. I think those are some of the issues that we have highlighted, but my colleagues can add on more issues that we have as a party.
Thank you so much. I think our party leader has generally summarized what is contained in this particular document. And what we want to say is we support the national dialogue process. We have always supported that. This Jubilee is a party that believes in constitutionalism, the rule of law, and peaceful coexistence of all Kenyans. We also believe that election is an event must have timelines, and there must be a winner and a loser. And that is why we as Jubilee made a conscious decision to accept the democratic process the Kenyan people have undertaken in the month of August 2022. There are issues, we are told, as we support this particular process, we are told that there are certain invitations based on coalitions. We want to also, as we have done before, Jubilee is an independent political party that is not part of Azimio coalition, neither part of the Kenya Kwanza coalition. It's an independent political party, and for information, is the 3rd largest party in Kenya, and the 2nd largest party actually under the former coalition of Azimio. So there are a number of issues that we have itemized. First, the issue of cost of living is something that affects all of us, and therefore what we need is a holistic approach that addresses all aspects of that issue. Not politicization. How do we address the cost of living? It's not a one-day event. And this is one thing that we have clearly addressed, and we are saying that we need to put our foot together as leadership, as citizens, in order to bring about affordable housing, food security, affordable healthcare. Then these issues require concerted effort by Kenyans, not politicization through propaganda or through demonstrations. The other bit that we have also talked about is the issue of gender equity. The issue of that is in the Constitution. In the last parliament, that is 12th parliament, the then CJ made a decision, actually the Supreme Court, let me say, and declared the 12th parliament unconstitutional. This is not something that, because it's a constitutional provision, we must think out of the box and address this issue, and once and for all address it with finality. That's why we as Jubilee propose that this issue of gender equity must be sorted out once and for all, so that once and for all. The issue of CDF has always been a motive issue. Where I come from, we always say our first government was CDF. So anything that rubbishes or takes away CDF, and that applies to all members of parliament, it takes, we will assume that person is hell-bent on taking our rights. So we also feel that the issue of CDF must also be entrenched in the Constitution. Now, election being an event, the issue of the office of official opposition, I know people want it, but right now they are starting that particular issue. Our proposal is as explained by our party leader, that our proposal is the runner-up, the person who becomes second after the general election occupies that office in the National Assembly. And the running mate of that person also occupies the second that is the deputy official position in the Senate. That will bring a bit of discipline and acceptability, and therefore the issue of pushing will not be done. The other bit that we have also added in our proposal is the issue of fidelity to the existence of political parties. We as Jubilee, before the election, we were party to a coalition. That coalition didn't work, and therefore we applied the necessary professions to exit. That must be respected. We cannot be forced into a marriage that we don't believe in. That is why in Parliament and everywhere else, our pronouncement is Jubilee as a party, as an independent party that does not belong to the Kenya Kwanza or as we a coalition, must be respected as an independent political entity, and that is why we are here. The other bit that I think we should also part of this is, you see, the reason why we have a generous and progressive constitution is for all of us to submit to the rule of law. You can't selectively use the law when it fits you. The issue of mandamandos, destruction of public property, causing mayhem, this must be done within the rule of law. And our proposal is whoever calls for public demonstration must also ensure that those who are not interested in that demonstration or those who participate in that particular demonstration also enjoy a bit of peace and tranquility. And that is our proposal, so that it doesn't just become a one-end proposal, way proposal. It should be two-way, so that whoever is proposing this enjoys the constitutional right. The other person who wants to just be an observer also enjoys the constitutional right of being an observer. In all this, the bottom line is this: we have a country, and we are bringing this proposal so that we can also enhance our governance platform. And that's why we truly believe in the rule of law, and adherence to the rule of law, both in letter and spirit. Thank you so much.
Asante. Kwa sababu sasa tumesema kwa Kiingereza sana, ni vizuri tuseme kwa Kiswahili. Niseme kwamba tumefika hapa kama chama cha Jubilee tukiwakilisha NEC yetu, na tumekuja hapa ili tutoe mapendekezo kwa kamati ama kongamano hili ambalo linakutana hapa Bomas, ambayo inajadilia mambo ambayo inahusu taifa hili letu la Kenya. Ni vizuri tuwakumbushe kwamba chama cha Jubilee ndicho chama cha tatu kikubwa katika taifa hili letu la Kenya, na hatuwezi kuwa na mazungumzo ya kina ambayo inaweza fanywa katika jamhuri hii yetu kama chama cha Jubilee hakijahusishwa kule ndani. Kwa hivyo tumekuja leo ili tutoe maoni yetu na mapendekezo yetu. Kwa kifupi, kwa sababu wale walionitangulia wamenena yote, niseme kwamba sisi kama chama cha Jubilee tunatabua na tunasema kwamba kamati hii ambayo inaongozwa na Mheshimiwa Kimani Ichung'wah na pia Mheshimiwa Kalonzo Musyoka ni kamati ambayo itatoa mapendekezo ambayo inaweza leta manufaa makubwa sana katika taifa hili letu la Kenya. Kwa hivyo sisi kama watu wa Jubilee tunaunga mkono kamati hii, hata kama wakati ilikuwa inaundwa wale ambao walikuwa nasema kwamba ni wa mlengo wetu hawakuweka mtu hata mmoja wa chama chetu cha Jubilee. Lakini hata kama hawakuweka mtu wa Jubilee, sisi tunasema kwamba wale ambao wako watatuwakilisha, na tutahakikisha kwamba maoni yetu, mapendekezo yetu yatawekwa katika ile report ya mwisho ambayo itawasilishwa hapa. Kwa kifupi tu niseme kwamba sisi kama chama cha Jubilee tunapendekeza kwamba uchaguzi unapoisha ama unapotamatishwa, ni vizuri vyama viheshimiwe. Kama chama kinasema kwamba tulikuwa katika muungano huu wakati wa uchaguzi, lakini baada ya uchaguzi tumeona kwamba mambo yetu hayaangaliwi sawa sawa, ni vizuri vyama hivyo ama miungano hiyo inakubali kwamba kuna uhuru wa chama. Vile ilikuwa ni hiari ya sisi watu wa Jubilee katika muungano kuingia muungano wa Azimio, iwe pia ni hiari yetu pia kama chama cha Jubilee kutoka kwa muungano, lakini hauwezi lazimishwa kwa muungano ambao wewe mwenyewe umeangalia, umeona kwamba mnateswa. Sisi tangu tuingie bunge la taifa, wabunge wetu na wanachama wetu wametengwa kwa kamati, kwa viti vya uongozi wametengwa. Kwa hivyo sisi tarehe 10 mwezi wa pili mwaka huu tukakuwa na mkutano wa NEC ambao ulisema kwamba tunataka taratibu tutoke katika muungano wa wa Azimio. Na wakati tunatoka muungano wa Azimio, hatutoki kwa muungano wa Azimio tunaingia muungano mwingine. Sisi tunataka kwanza kutambuliwa kama chama ambacho kinajulikana katika bunge letu la taifa, kwa sababu tumehitimu na tumefikisha kiwango cha kuwa tunatambulika kama chama. Ya pili, tumesema kwamba sisi kama chama cha Jubilee, alama yetu ikiwa jiwa ni alama ya amani. Kwa hivyo sisi kila wakati tunapendekeza mambo ya amani, hata wakati tunatofautiana na yeyote. Sisi tunasema kwamba cha kwanza ni kuwa na maridhiano, ya pili ni kuwa na mazungumzo, na sisi hata kamwe hatuungi mkono mambo ya kuleta rapsha, uharibifu wa mali katika taifa hili. Sisi kama Jubilee, najua sisi ndio tulikuwa kwa serikali. Miundo misingi mingi katika taifa hili ilijengwa na serikali ya Jubilee. Hatuwezi kuwa sisi watu wa Jubilee tutaunga mkono wale ambao watu wanaenda kuharibu express highway ile ilijengwa na Jubilee. Mabarabara zimejengwa na Jubilee. Sisi kama tumesema kwamba hatutakubali mambo kama hayo. Na tukielekea kule mbele, kama vile kiongozi wetu wa chama amesema, kama unataka kushiriki katika maandamano, iwe ni kushiriki katika maandamano ya amani, lakini wakati kuna kuleta fujo, kuna uharibifu wa mali, wewe ambao uliita mkutano huo wa kuleta maandamano, wewe mwenyewe ndiye utakuwa unagharamia mambo hayo. Ya pili, tuseme kwamba sisi kama chama tunajua kwamba mwaka ujao ndio deadline ya IBC kudelimit ama kuangalia upya sehemu wakilishi za bunge. Tunajua kwamba kuna sehemu zingine ambapo mbunge mmoja anawakilisha zaidi ya watu 1,600 kama hapa Ruto na kwingineko. Ni vizuri IBC wakati itakuwa inaangazia mambo hayo ihakikishe kwamba yule mbunge ambaye anawakilisha watu wengi anapata hela sawa na wale watu ambao anawakilisha, ama tuhakikishe kwamba sehemu zote zinawakilishwa sawa. Lakini sisi kama watu wa Jubilee tumesema kwa sababu kuna constituencies 26 ambazo hazikuwa zimefikisha kiwango cha kuwa constituencies. Wakati IBC itakuwa inafanya upya sehemu wakilishi bunge, ihakikishe kwamba hizo constituencies zimehifadhiwa. The constituencies that did not meet the threshold should be preserved, and that is what we have actually proposed in our memorandum here. So ya mwisho niseme kwamba sisi kama Jubilee tumesema kwamba tutahakikisha kwamba tumeimarisha amani, kwa sababu Kenya ni yetu. Kenya ikiimarika, sisi wote tunafurahia, lakini kukiwa na changamoto katika taifa hili, sisi wote tunaangamia.
Mheshimiwa Kanini, swali tu, mapendekezo ambayo tayari yametolewa yanaangazia kwamba huenda baadhi ya mambo ambayo yamependekezwa na makundi tofauti yatarekebishwa kupitia kura ya maoni. Pengine msimamo wa Jubilee ni kuhusu pengine kura ya maoni kubadilisha haya mambo.
Tutafika huko, kwa sababu wale ambao wanafanya mikutano kule ndio watatuambia zile sheria ambazo zinahitaji kura ya maoni ikifika, kwa sababu labda kuna zingine ambazo zitahitaji kura ya maoni. Wakati tutafika hapo, sisi tutashiriki hapo. Lakini ni vizuri pia niseme sisi kama Jubilee, kwa sababu kuna wengine na kuna uhuru wa kila mtu kupendekeza chochote. Sisi tunakemea na tunasema kwamba wale ambao wanasema kwamba term ya president ibadilishwe, sisi tunakataa. Na tunakataa kwa sababu mtu anapatiwa muhula wake wa kufanya kazi, na sio ukipatiwa muhula kama rais lazima umalize kila kitu. Moi alikuwa akafanya yake, hakumaliza. Mzee Kibaki akaja akafanya yake, hakumaliza. Mheshimiwa Uhuru akaja akafanya yake, hakumaliza. Hata Mheshimiwa Dr. William Samoei Ruto atafanya yake, hatamaliza. Mwingine atakuja kumalizia. Kwa hivyo wale wana vizigizio ya kusema kwamba tunataka tuongeze muhula wa rais uwe miaka 7 na ingine 7 ili rais amalize kazi. Hakuna rais hata mmoja katika dunia ashamaliza kazi ya nchi, kwa sababu kila siku kuna matukio ambayo yanajitokeza kila wakati.
Do you have a proposal on how police can deal with protesters now that we are also having something on protest?
Well, I think protesters are human beings and they should be protected. Police, they are supposed to protect them. But our appeal is that even as you protest, how are you protesting? Because if you go destructing property, you become a criminal, then you are dealt as a criminal. And that's why we said we want to urge the leaders who will be calling for demonstrations or people to go and protest. They should also tell them that they should not destroy any property so that it doesn't turn to be criminal. So if just somebody is just doing a peaceful demonstration, the police should be there to protect them and not to harm them. And I just want to add that issue of IBC because our focus as Jubilee is to look at also even the counties. There have been several disputes about the boundaries. And we feel this is a high time. It's not just about the elections. It's not just because IBC doesn't not just do elections. We want the boundaries to be looked at so that it is clear. And that should be their first mandate. Elections happened. It will happen again in the next 5 years. Now it is actually 4 years. So we should focus on the way forward because we don't want to keep on repeating the same mistakes that we have done before. And because we have one of our candidates who was in Embu as a Jubilee candidate, I think it's good that he also gives his view on what he sees where we are in just 1 minute. So we can talk from Embu so that we don't seem that we are only ones who are in parliament. We also have ones who lost and who are Jubilee diehard.
Okay, thank you. Morris. Nimetoka Embu, mimi nilikuwa nawania kiti ya mbunge ya Manyata constituency, lakini kulienda vile kulienda. Wale walikuwa Kenya Kwanza kushinda, sisi tulikuwa katika muungano wa Azimio. Lakini after siasa sisi kama Jubilee kutoka kwenye muungano wa Azimio na ile memorandum tumeleta leo kama vile mkuu wa chama yetu wamesema, tunataka IBC wakirudi waangalie constituency ambazo zijafikisha kiwango cha kuitwa constituency zibaki zikiwa constituency. Na constituency kama yetu ya Manyata, unakuta constituency yetu ya Manyata iko na imeshikanishwa ni kama constituency mbili. Ningetaka kusema wakati IBC itarudi ikuje pale Embu County Manyata constituency iweze kugawanishwa zikuwe constituency mbili. Ile mengi ambayo imeongewa hapa mimi sitaki kurudia kwa sababu kwa chama ameongea, mdogo wake ameongea, na sisi kama wale ambao tuko nyuma yao tungetaka tukiingia huko tupeleke memorandum yetu, wao ambao wamechaguliwa kwenye kamati ya bipartisan wataiangalia. Mimi ningetaka kuacha hapo. Thank you.
Na ni vizuri tuseme ya mwisho. Ni vizuri watu waheshimu vile kura inaenda. Huyu ni mmoja ambaye alipoteza, Kanini alipoteza akakubali. Sasa kama kuna wale hawatakuwa wakikubali, itaenda kutoka ile juu, basi hata MPs ukuwe wawili, kukuwe na MCAs wawili. So it is good that we have, respect of the law. Once somebody loses, you accept you have lost, and then we look for the way forward and offer solutions to Kenyans instead of going backwards and trying to force our way in. That is one of the things that we say as Jubilee. Let us respect whoever wins, because when you go to any competition, you know there will be a loser and a winner, and it is important that we respect that space.
In brief for Norway.
Okay, okay. Muthenya wa muthitu kurehe maoni maitu ta kema kia Jubilee. Kema kia Jubilee gikiama kiria kinene muno gia gatatu thiini wa bũrũri wa Kenya, thiini wa National Assembly, na memba itu makaigua ona gutukia riwo kanya guka gukorwo thiini wa gikaro giki nitura support gikaro tondo twende Kenya ndina mbere no twende maoni maitu maiguike. Koguo wa mbere kuga ati tũrehoka muno ati mĩario nĩ ũrathi na mbere, mĩario ĩno nĩ gũkorwo na ũmithio mũnene mũno, na he maũndũ maigana ũna marĩa tũrenda kwaria ta andũ a Jubilee. Tuge wa mbere rĩrĩa ithurano ciathira, andũ arĩa me thĩinĩ wa coalitions itiganĩte mangĩtĩkanĩra atĩ nĩ mekwenda kweherera coalition, gũtikagĩe na ũhoro wa kũringĩrĩrio kana atĩ no nginya mũndũ akorwo thĩinĩ wayo. Jubilee ndĩrĩ thĩinĩ wa coalition ya Kenya Kwanza kana coalition ya Azimio, koguo nĩkĩo tũrenda maoni maitũ mathikĩrĩrio na maiguĩke kũrĩ bũrũri, tondũ nĩ ithuĩ na andũ arĩa tũkoragwo tũkĩrepresent. Ũndũ wa kerĩ nĩ ũhoro wĩgiĩ IBC. Ithuĩ tũtirarora mũno ũhoro wa ithurano, tondũ ithurano ciathira nĩ gũkorwo na mũhotani na mũndũ ũrĩa wahotwo. Tũrenda kũrora IBC nĩ andũ gũkorwo ĩkĩrora mĩhaka. Kwĩna constituency nyingĩ mũno ciĩna andũ aingĩ iria igũbatara kũgayanio. Kwĩna counties iria cikoretwo citaiguanĩire mĩhaka harĩa ĩrĩ, na no tuge atĩ IBC magĩcoka. Ũndũ wa mbere nĩ marore mĩhaka, tondũ ũndũ ũcio nĩ ũikarĩte mũno. Ũhoro wĩgiĩ atumia thĩinĩ wa mbunge, igoti nĩ rĩkoretwo rĩrutĩte maoni mao, na no tuge ithuĩ tũra support kũgĩe na mũtaratara, na nĩ tũtarĩrie wega wa gũtigĩrĩra atĩ atumia na to thĩinĩ wa mbunge, thĩinĩ wa county, thĩinĩ wa senate, thĩinĩ wa maobici mothe ma thirikari, ũkorwo atĩ ũhoro wa atumia na arũme, tondũ gwĩ kũndũ rĩmwe gũthiĩ atumia makĩingĩhe, ũhoro wa gender ũhoro tondũ nĩ wĩgiĩ atumia na andũ othe maigananio. Ũhoro wa thogora wa mũtũrĩre nĩ tũrauga nĩ ma wĩ igũrũ mũno, na no tubatare tondu thirikari nere mitaratara mingi ugakora ogorone ndira maheagwo mbeca cia kuru ni maraheo hihi mbeca cia NHIF hena gakandi kangi mundu araheo karia mena mawathe ugakora thirikari ni thiete ina mitaratara mingi turoka mitaratara yothe icokaniririo niguo andu aria mena mathina mundu akaheo gakandi kamwe ati no uhote guthii ukorwo urathi thibitari ni urona irio ogwo ni kuhanda hihi ni ukuona irio iria uguthii nduka-ini wone kuge na programu njega igukorwo ikirora mundu ucio utari na uhoti na hote haria kienda ona hiyo boni biashara kuge na kigena ndo makihote kuge na biashara ati no uthii wetu mbeca twa thirikari na ni tui hustler fund ira thi na mbere wega koguo mitaratara ino yothe igukorwo i mutaratara umwe no tuhote gukuria na andu aitu mahote kwiyukiriria haria mari
in a specific time maisha rĩrĩa kĩama gĩbatiĩ kuma coalition-inĩ
ithuĩ kĩama nĩ kĩoimire kuma rĩrĩa twacemanirie February mweri wa kerĩ nĩ twaugire kĩama gitũ kĩa Jubilee kũringana na ũrĩa twaikarire twaingĩra thĩinĩ wa mbunge nĩ twahinyĩrĩirio thĩinĩ wa kũheo iturwa thĩinĩ wa mbunge nĩ twahinyĩrĩirio ũhoro wa commission ĩrĩa twari Jubilee korwo na commissioner nĩyo irwo nĩ kĩama kĩa ODM na mabataro maingĩ maitũ tũkĩona matirarorwo tũkĩona tũtingĩhota gũikara thĩinĩ wa kĩhiko kĩu na nĩ tweherire na nĩkĩo tũkire ithuĩ ta Jubilee kwĩrehera maũndũ maitũ ũrĩa tũngĩenda kuga nĩ atĩrĩrĩ hatirĩ bata wa kũringĩrĩria tũikaranie thutha wa ithurano na watho wĩho ukauga andũ nĩ magĩrĩirwo nĩ gũcokanĩrĩra ningĩ maikare thĩ moranie kana nĩ megũtwarana gacĩra kau kana matigũtwarana na harĩa tũkinyĩte ithuĩ tũraigua twĩ kĩama kĩa Jubilee tũtikwenda gũkorwo twĩ thĩinĩ wa mũrengo wothe tũkwenda gũikara gĩkĩama kĩrũngĩte kĩikaithie nĩguo tũkahotaga kũrehe maũndũ ma andũ aitũ thĩinĩ wa mbunge ta kĩama tũtarĩ kũnyitithanio na mũrengo ũyũ kana mũrengo ũyũ
kwa mbere njuge tukite haha ta kiama kia Jubilee na tukite nigetha turute mawoni maitu kwaraniria ni kwendana ithuĩ twĩ kiama kia Jubilee ni turamenya hari ndeto ikuma guku tondu gutiri hingo athuri na atumia 10 mangĩikara thĩ makorwo ni mararaniria na mararia ndeto cia bũrũri matuĩke ni wĩra wa tũhu mararuta aya ti maĩ marahũra na ndĩrĩ ithuĩ ni turamenya kũrĩ kaũndũ ga kuma guku na Bomas to nĩyo ĩkoretwo ĩrĩ gĩtwe kĩa maũndũ maitũ mega ma Kenya rĩ turoga ni wega twarĩrĩrie maũndũ maitũ ma Jubilee ithuĩ kĩama gitũ kĩa Jubilee turoka tũrũgamĩte na tukauga atĩrĩrĩ turenda gũkorwo tũgĩtambũrwo ta kĩama kĩrũgamĩtie nĩ twaingĩrĩte coalition ĩgwĩtwo Azimio hingo ya gĩthurano no twarĩkia gĩthurano andũ acio matiatwarithirie wega matũnyararire ona nginya kamĩtĩ ĩno ĩthondeketwo gũkũ harĩ kamĩtĩ ya andũ atano arĩa maneanirwo mwena wa Azimio gũtirĩ mũndũ ona ũmwe waneanirwo kuma mwena wa Jubilee no tũtikire na thĩna noguo tondũ turauga atĩrĩrĩ ona angĩkorwo nĩ magũikara thĩ kũrĩa ithuĩ tũngĩhota gũkorwo tũgĩũka kũneana ndũmĩrĩri itũ rĩ ndeto citũ nĩ igũkorwo ikĩnyitwo ithuĩ tũrenda kwanĩrĩra na kayũ kanene tuge atĩrĩrĩ tũrĩ kĩama kĩrĩa gĩa gatatũ kĩnene thĩinĩ wa bũrũri wa Kenya rĩ atĩ nĩ tũkwenda maũndũ maitũ makorwo makĩrorwo constituencies nĩ ikũbatara irorwo na irorwo na ũũgĩ tondũ constituencies iria nyingĩ nene irĩ matũũra-inĩ ma gwitũ nĩ ũkũrora kũndũ gwĩtagwo Ruiru nĩ ũkũrora kũndũ gwĩtagwo Juja nĩ ũkũrora Kieni nĩ ũkũrora kũndũ gwĩtagwo Mwea na kũndũ kũingĩ mũno kũrĩa gũbataire gũkorwo gũkĩgayanio no gũtigayanĩtio tũrera ABC atĩrĩrĩ gwĩkinya mwaka ũyũ ũngĩ tondũ nĩrĩo constituency igũkorwo ikĩgaywo rĩ nĩ tũrenda matũũra macio maitũ makorwo makĩrorwo nacio constituencies iria itakinyanĩirie ikĩro na nĩ ciahĩtũkirio nĩ kamĩtĩ ya ABC ĩrĩa yarĩ ho mbere rĩ uthaya tetu mũkũrũ-inĩ ndaragwo na kũrĩa kũngĩ rĩ itigakorwo nĩ ikũninwo ituĩke cio nĩ igũtuĩka protected na ici ingĩ nacio ikorwo ikĩongererwo gũtigagĩtuĩke atĩ tũragĩtunya Kamau nĩgetha tũnengere Njoroge no tũkorwo nginya ona Njoroge tũkĩmũnengera kĩrĩa kĩagĩrĩire tũtagũkinya mũndũ wĩtagwo Kamau nĩkĩo ĩyo nĩyo ĩgũkorwo ĩkĩrehe nyamũ ĩrĩa ĩragwo na gĩthũngũ ciringi ĩmwe na mũndũ ũmwe na kura ĩmwe ĩyo nĩyo ĩgũkorwo ĩingĩranĩte na maũndũ macio koguo ithuĩ tũkĩte gũkũ nĩgetha tũkorwo tũkĩneana ndũmĩrĩri itũ na hihi mangĩona kanya rĩ mahota gwĩta ũmwe kana erĩ aitũ makorwo magĩheana presentation no ndeto ciothe tũciandĩkĩte na igakorwo irĩ njega na tũreciria mweri ũyũ ũgĩthira kana gĩikaro gĩkĩ gĩgĩthira nĩ tũgũkorwo twĩna mendekithia marĩa magũkorwo magĩtwara bũrũri na kũrĩa mbere na rĩendekithia rĩmwe rĩrĩa rĩa bata mũno nĩ gũthondeka gĩturwa kĩa ũrĩa wacindwo gĩthurano tondũ thĩna wa bũrũri wa Kenya nĩ ĩrĩa ĩragwo na gĩthũngũ the winner takes it all atĩ mũndũ ũrĩa wacinda eraga acio angĩ mainũke ona angĩkorwo mũndũ ararĩ na nuthu ya bũrũri akerwo ainũke rĩrĩa wamwĩra ainũke rĩ akũinũka athiĩ ku no ũngĩthondeka gĩtĩ kĩa leader of opposition kana mũtongoria wa mũng'ethanĩro rĩ na aikarage mbunge rĩ na mũnini wake nake aikarage senate rĩ ndĩnama ona angĩkorwo harĩ kaũndũ arĩ nako angiuga ndangĩthiĩ street-inĩ agĩkaugagĩra mbunge ona nĩ arĩragwo atĩrĩrĩ angĩkorwo niwe mũtongoria wa mũng'ethanĩro rĩ ndeto icio ũratwĩra ũrĩ kũrĩa taũni-inĩ rĩ tiga gũtũhera taũni dio kiarĩrĩrie kũrĩa mbunge. Koguo tukona nĩ ikinya rĩega na nĩ rĩgũteithia bũrũri ũyũ witũ wa Kenya.
Na mwisho unasema mteo kama Jubilee na Kioni sasa.
Ucio tutikwenda kwaria ũhoro wa ndeto yake Mheshimiwa Kioni rĩ arĩ gũkũ ta mwandĩkwo kana ta ũrĩa mũngĩthiĩ mwethe mũndũ mwandĩkwo wa kuoya kĩrĩa kĩrarĩ. Ona ndĩramaka mũno ngĩigua atĩ nĩ araria na magatuĩka atĩ nĩ maracokanĩria na commissioner kana mũndũ ũmwe ũthurĩtwo arĩ mũmbemba wa kamĩtĩ. Rĩrĩa wĩ secretary no nĩ tũkoragwo tũrĩ bunge kũrĩa ĩ rĩrĩa wĩ kĩrakirĩ no maratathi anenganagĩrĩria na akandĩka kĩrĩa kĩario kĩraki tiwe ugaga. Koguo rĩrĩa Kioni arĩ gũkũ rĩ ndarĩ gũkũ kũrũgamĩrĩra kĩama kĩa Jubilee tondũ ona rĩrĩa kũraikarwo metha harĩa mbere rĩ mũndũ araikara na kũrĩa thutha ũgĩikara na kũrĩa thutha rĩ mũndũ nĩ gũkinyĩria kinyagĩrio ndeto no arĩa makorwo haha mbere rĩ nĩo makorwo makĩaria. Ũmũthĩ nĩ ithuĩ tũroka ta kĩama kĩa Jubilee tondũ na watho nĩ ugĩte nĩ ithuĩ tũrĩ wabici-inĩ.
My name is Washira, and I really appreciate our party leader and leadership of the party because it's the first party that has intentionally brought in the business community